Hi, I'm Alan. I'll be walking you through the Windows Vulkan setup. First, I'd like to start out by walking you through Vulkan usage on Windows, both native Windows support, and then in the next section, we're going to be using a Windows host to do Android development with Vulkan. So first of all, we have some prerequisites. We'll need to get to CMake 3.0 or greater and Python 3.0 or greater. And then your Visual Studio needs to be 2013 update 4 or greater. So I happen to go with CMake 3.6.1 and Python 3.5.2. And then Visual Studio is going to be, uh, like I said, 2013 update 4. We do need a graphics driver that supports Vulkan, so you'll need to go to your graphics vendor and make sure that that's what you have. Um, then we'll be going, so I've got an NVIDIA device on this Windows system, and so I went out and just got the most recent NVIDIA driver. Next we'll be going out to the Lunar Exchange website. This is LunarG's Vulkan website, and it's vulkan.lunarg.com, and there you can download the most recent LunarG SDK for the Vulkan SDK for Windows. So let's go ahead and do that. We're doing Windows, so we'll download Windows here. They've got a version 1.0, 3.0, and we're going to be doing that. So we'll download that file. Okay, so that's downloaded. Let's go ahead and click on this. And up comes our installer. So we agree to this. Read through your EULA here. I agree. I'm just going to use the default location. Let's install it there. And now this is installing. Okay, it looks like that's installed. And let's go ahead and go over to the installation folder. There we go. We can click on documentation, look at the getting started document. It's a pretty good document. That's basically what I've been working off of. And so we've done all this. Go down to let's go down and build the demo programs. So let's go up a level to demos. There we go. And we'll bring up the solution file. And let's go ahead and build the solution. Okay, so those succeeded in building. All we really need to do now is run them. Let's just start without debugging. Right now, over to my other screen, sorry. So this is Cube and it's up and running. So it looks like that's all functioning just fine. Okay, let's get out of the demos and go up a level here. You can also look at the, we can build the windows. Now we're in the samples directory. These samples are what they call API samples that are very much focused on your API usage of the different Vulkan calls, just showing you how to call them. They aren't really built like demos so much. They're more used for cutting and pasting usage of each of the calls into your program that you're developing. So let's go ahead and go down into um, let's go ahead and just build them. We've got a script. This build Windows samples will build everything for us. And okay, we're gonna wait for that build script to finish. Once it's done, this build directory here will be populated with what we need to actually use Visual Studio. And this is done by, actually the build script is calling, just doing a CMake build, basically. So what you'll find in this build directory now, once it's done, is a solution file for Vulkan samples, which we can then just use Visual Studio to build and run the different samples and stuff. So it's pretty straightforward. And this CMake's a good way to go because it's supported on all the target environments that I think your apps will want to be in. And one of the things it does on Windows is like I said, creates this Visual Studio solution file, and we can now use that to use Visual Studio easily. Okay. You'll find when we'll talk more about this when we go over to the Android build, but one thing that's nice about using CMake on Android then is that it creates everything that's needed to interface to Android Studio. And particularly Android Studio will have a Gradle file that then just basically launches your CMake build. And this makes it easy to use the Android tools, the debugger and stuff, if you just plug into the Android Studio that way. So let's go open up this Vulkan samples solution file. And okay, so what we have here is all the different API samples over on the left-hand side as subprojects. And the way CMake works is it always creates this all build project name, and so we can basically go to that or just go to this up to the Vulkan samples, I guess, and do a build solution. Okay, this is going to take a few minutes to build all the different API samples. The other thing it's building is this hologram sample, which basically shows you how to do multi-threaded rendering to Vulkan, and it's a fun demo too. So once this is done, and it's done, we can then go to any one of these different sub-projects and build them. So here we're just building draw cube, and actually what we want to do is go to draw a textured cube. So if you want to actually run any one of these, the easiest thing to do, I think, is to just right click on the sub-project itself and set that up as the startup project. Then and then we can now build it. It was all built, so we should be ready to run. So now when you go to debug, and since it's this draw textured cube is the default project, you can just click on start without debugging, and that will launch your draw textured cube. So here we go. And there's just a simple program showing you how to use the API. And then let's go ahead and go down to hologram since it's a little more interesting. So we're going to make sure that it's all built. Yep, it's ready to go. So we'll make this the startup project. And now when we start without debugging, it'll start up hologram. Actually over on my other screen, so I'll pull it over here. So that's the hologram demo. And this is a good example of it's doing multi-threaded rendering here. You can even tell it how many threads to run and stuff. But so that kind of shows you how to use the samples, how to build them, how to run them, and you can go in and maybe tweak them and interact with them some. So this is probably a good place to start a lot of your using Vulkan kind of experience. And that's all I got here.